Hey guys, we're in chapter 11, section 5, and we're looking to find the volume of a pyramid, of a cone, and of an oblique cone. Alright, so the volume of a pyramid can be found by taking 1/3 the product of the area of the base and the height of the pyramid. So the formula that we use to find the volume of a pyramid is volume is equal to 1/3, product means multiplication, so 1/3 the area of the base times the height of the pyramid. Now note, this is also true for oblique pyramids. Oblique is what you want to write here. And oblique is basically saying those pyramids that you see that look slanted. So slanted pyramids or oblique pyramids, you find the volume by taking 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Alright, so as you can see, we have the steps listed here to finding the volume of a pyramid. So let's check out our example. It says the entrance to the Louvre Museum in Paris, France, is a square pyramid with a height of 21.64 meters. What is the volume of the Louvre pyramid to the nearest cubed meter? Alright, well, we see for our square pyramid that one side is 35.4 meters. And it's given to us that the height is 21.64 meters. Step 1 tells us to write the formula for volume. So volume is equal to 1/3 area of base times height. Step 2 says determine area of base. Well, our base is a square pyramid. So to find the area of a square, that's length times width. And since it's a square, its length and width are the same. So 35.4 times 35.4. That's going to give us the area for the base. Now the height part, that refers to the height of the pyramid itself. And it tells us the height is 21.64, so I'll substitute that in also. Now that was step 3 as well as step 2. Step 3 says substitute the base and the height values into formula. So that's what I just did. And step 4 says to calculate. Now it says note you may need to use the Pythagorean theorem. In our case, we don't need to because we have a square base and then the height's given to us. So we're good without having to use that. So plugging this into our calculator, calculating it out, we get 9,039.4608. But if it wants us to round to the nearest cubed meter, then our answer for volume is approximately 9,039 meters cubed. Alright, your problem's below. You want to use the same volume area, or I'm sorry, the same volume formula, and here's your steps to solving. Alright, now let's see a problem where we do need to use the Pythagorean theorem. So looking at this example, our step 1 is to write the formula for volume. So volume is equal to 1/3 area of base times height. Well, it looks like we have some kind of a square pyramid, basically. We're going to assume that this is a square pyramid since it doesn't give us any other measurement here. So my base is going to be volume is equal to 1/3, and the area of a square is just going to be 40 times 40. Oops. Now to find the height, though, I need to use the Pythagorean theorem here. Now if this whole length is 40, then I know half of it is going to be 20. And I know it's half because this segment right here is my altitude, because height refers to the length of your altitude, and altitude goes from the vertex to the center of your base. So I know this is right in the middle. So I do know that this is 20, and it's given to me that the slant height is 25. So we've created this 90-degree triangle, and I can use a Pythagorean theorem. We're going to say 20 squared plus the height squared is equal to 25 squared. And solving for h, 20 squared is 400 plus h squared. 25 squared is 625. Subtracting 400 on both sides, h squared is equal to 225. And then taking the square root of both sides, you see that h is equal to 15. So that's what we'll plug in for h, 15. Now all we have to do is calculate. So we're saying 40 times 15, and a third of all of that, and we get 8,000 feet cubed. And there's our answer. So I want you guys to do the same thing. In this pyramid below, I want you to assume again that this is a square pyramid. So this is 10 and this is 10. I want you to use Pythagorean theorem to determine the height, like we had to up here in the previous problem. And I want you to find the volume for that pyramid. Alright, now let's check out how to find the volume of a cone. Now this says up here, to find the volume of a cone, you can use the same formula that you used to find the volume of a pyramid. However, B now refers to the area of a circle. So the volume of a cone is, again, 1/3 the product of the area of the base and the height of the cone. So here's our formula that we can use, but keep in mind that base, it's referring to the area of the base, and in a cone, the base is a circle. So we can replace B with pi r squared. So it's going to be 1/3 pi r squared times h. And that's how we find the volume of a cone. Now let's look at this example. This example says, in a chemistry lab, you use a filter paper cone to filter a liquid. The diameter of the cone is 6.5 centimeters, and its height is 6 centimeters. How much liquid will the cone hold when it is full? Alright, well our steps are above, and step 1 says, write the formula for volume. So volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height of the cone. Step 2 says, determine area of base. Well, our base is circular, and the area of a circle is found by the formula pi r squared. So I'm going to replace B with pi r squared. So volume is equal to 1/3 pi r squared times height. Step 3 says substitute base and height values into formula. So looking back at my word problem, the diameter is 6.5. So this tells me my radius. Radius is half of your diameter. So for radius, I'm going to plug in 3.25. And I'm going to make sure to square that. And then my height's also given to me. It's 6 centimeters. So I'll plug that in also. Your last step is just to calculate. So plugging that into your calculator, 1/3 times pi times 3.25 squared times 6, and rounding it to the nearest tenth, we get 66.4 centimeters cubed. And that's our final answer. Now I want you to do the same thing. I want you to try this problem below. Read the word problem, follow these steps, and round to the nearest tenth. Alright, our last example in your last U try, it's about oblique cones. It says find the volume of an oblique cone. Well, our volume of a cone was 1/3 area of base times height. This formula is good for all types of cones. So even oblique cones or slanted cones, we're going to use this formula. So step 1 says write the formula for volume. Volume is equal to 1/3 area of base times height. It says determine the area of the base. Our base here is circular. This is a cone. So we can use the formula pi r squared. And then we also have height. Step 3 says substitute base and height values into formula. So we're going to say volume is equal to 1/3 pi r, our radius. We see the diameter is 30, so the radius is 15, so 15 squared, times the height. Height always goes from the vertex down to the base. So our height here says 25. Last step, step 4, calculate. Plugging this into your calculator, 1/3 times pi times 15 squared times 25, we get 5,890.48622 and so on. So rounding that to the nearest whole number, we get 5,890 feet cubed. Here's our answer. Alright, so you try. I want you to do the same exact thing. I want you to find the volume for this cone down below. I want you to use these 4 steps. Show your work. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. See you guys in class.